Hello everybody. Today I'm going to explain session number 2 of social science. We are in week 9 and we are studying topic 7, where we live. As you know, here it's in green some words because here we will include the YouTube links for you to watch this video and the others, in this case explaining science. And now it's time to start the tasks for today. You know that we can see 3 different tasks, and the first one is to watch a video about communities. Okay, it's going to explain about urban communities, rural. Copy the link, go to a web page, you paste, press, and when the video is ready, you have to listen. Okay, it's 4 minutes.
Welcome to Kids Academy.
And you can do it bigger.
Let's get started on the lesson. A community is a place where people live together. There are many different types of communities. In this lesson,
Okay, it's going to explain different types of community. The next task is to open your book on pages 104 and 105, areas of the city. I don't have here my book, but I have it online, so I'm going to show you, as you can see, your book online too, okay? So, I'm going to read, you're going to listen, and then you can read it out if you want, or you can listen to your online books in the computer, okay? So, I'm going to read and explain. Cities are constantly growing and changing. This is because when a city starts, it's not the same 10 years later, okay? It grows and grows with different houses, different buildings, more shops, more petrol stations. So it's changing all the time. Some shops close, then other shops open. This is why it grows and changes all the time. New neighborhoods are being built all the time, and they are often very different to the old ones. This means that in a city, in the outskirts, do you remember this word from the other topic? We can see that new neighborhoods are built, okay? And they are very different to the old ones because people is younger, or the buildings are younger and more modern, okay? And are not as old as we can see in downtown. Here, okay, we can see a map of a city, and I'm going to start reading the different ones that appear in your book. This is the first one, and says, there is usually a train station near the city center too. Okay, in the cities, there is usually a train station in the center or near the center, okay? The main square, City Hall, churches, and many monuments are found in the city center. Of course, that the main square, the City Hall, that is where the mayor works, different churches or cathedrals, and different monuments, okay, like statues, are found in the city center. Because many people or tourists that visit a city can see these buildings and these monuments. There are usually lots of homes, offices, and shops in modern neighborhoods. This means that in modern neighborhoods that are usually in the outskirts, okay, not in the city center, the buildings that are built there are for houses, people to sleep and live there, for offices to work, or shops to buy. Modern neighborhoods have wide, straight streets, and the buildings are new. As I told you, the modern neighborhoods have the streets that are bigger, okay, and not as crowded, not with a lot of people, a lot of buildings. No, it's wider, and there are more green areas, okay, more plants, more trees, and the buildings are new. Industrial estates with large businesses and factories are located on the outskirts of a city. The outskirts of a city is the outside, and the industrial estates with large businesses, okay? For example, the factories that produce cats' food, for example, okay, it's outside of the city because they have a lot of machines that are very noisy. So it's very strange to find a factory in the city center because they are noisy and it's not very usual or very comfortable to have that. The airport is usually located on the outskirts of a city. This is true. Okay, in the cities where we find an airport, it's not in the middle of the city, okay? It's in a part that is a bit separated from the buildings, the houses, the shops, okay? The city center. The city center is the oldest part of a city. The streets are usually narrow and the buildings are old. Some streets are only for pedestrians, okay? The city center, it says that is the oldest part of a city. It's the first part of the city that was created. The streets are narrow, okay, are small, are not wide, are narrow, and the buildings are old. And some streets are only for pedestrians. This means that no cars, no lorries, no motorbikes can go in these streets because they are very old and we need to take care of them because they are very important. Okay, they are very old, they have many years and are important to keep. As the number of people living in the city center grows, new modern neighborhoods are built. Okay, in the cities, more people are born and we need to have more buildings to live, okay? More families go to the cities. So it's necessary to create neighborhoods with more houses for them to live. On the outskirts of the city, there is usually a lot of space to build new buildings for homes, offices, and shops. As I told you, most of the neighborhoods, or many neighborhoods, are built in the outskirts of the city because there are a lot of space, so you can build a lot of buildings to live, to work, like offices, and obviously they need to have supermarkets and shops to buy. So they also build shops and supermarkets or shopping centers. Metro systems, it says that many large cities have a metro system that is mostly underground. In some cities, for example, in Madrid, in Barcelona, or in London, we can find a metro, okay? It allows people to get from one area of a city to another quickly. The metro goes under the floor, okay? And it is very, very quick. You have here the example of the London Underground, okay, the London Tube. And for example, if I'm here in Monument and I want to go to Barbican, okay, I can take, for example, the yellow line here in Monument. I will go in the yellow line and I will arrive to Barbican. But you have different options. You can pick up here the green line, for example, okay, and you can go here, go, you stop on this one, you pick up the black line, you go here straight, okay, you pick up the blue one, Warren Street, then you go up. Here in Houston, you stop and pick up the black again, okay, till here. And then when you are in this one, you can pick up the yellow and go to Barbican. Okay, this is an option. And once that we have seen the lesson, you can now listen, okay, to your online books, or you can read in silence to understand what I have explained. We are going to do some exercises that are 8, 9, 10, and 12 of your activity book, that is this one. These are the exercises that you need to do, okay? Exercise 8, you need to classify these words in city center, modern neighborhoods, or outskirts. Then you have to write sentences about where we find things in a city using the chart in activity 8, okay? In the city center, we usually find narrow streets. What else can we find? Okay, what can we find in modern neighborhoods? We usually find and in the outskirts of the city, we usually find Okay, you complete. Then we also need to do number 10. You need to look at the map of the London Underground and answer these questions that appear here. One is done, is an example, okay? Which line do you take to get from Charing Cross Station to Warren Street Station? And you need to see that is the black one, okay? The map, you don't have it in color, okay, in your photocopies, but you have it here, okay, it's the same one. So you can have a look and you can answer this one too. Then you need to write what is the quickest way to get from Embankment Station to Pimlico Station. It tells you the quickest way, so you need to see which lines you need to take to go from Embankment to Pimlico. The same here to go from Old Street Station to Bermondsey Station, okay? You need to use all the time the expression take the color line to station, and then take the line to station, and then take the line to station. You are in Pimlico Station, okay, for example. The same here. And finally, exercise 11, that says, what is the metro in New York City called? This is time to investigate, okay, for you on the internet. And this is the end of the lesson of today. Bye-bye.